so here it is. I walked away for a while. A whole list of things I want to get done today, and I'm starting off by prepping dinner. It's a marinade. I have a soft spot in my heart for marinades. I'm still compiling a ton of recipes for a specific marinade video, but for today, I'm gonna make pork, apricot, and rosemary kebabs. Don't those look amazing? And I've never marinated pork before, so this will be a first. Did I just get that dirty? Whatever. It's bound to happen. This is a cookbook by Trisha Yearwood. By the way, let me first explain. I have a pile of cookbooks over there. Bad influence. I went to the thrift store with a friend. She was a bad influence, and I came home with a lot of cookbooks. I need to make it worth it, so I scoured through all of the books, and I found a lot of recipes. I put paper towels in here because what else do you use when you're a type C mom and you don't have any Post-it notes? Anyway, I'm getting this started way later in the day. Like what? It has been a day. How has your day been? But guess what? There's always time to change it around, start from here, and it's only gonna get better, right? Especially when I'm about to make the most amazing marinade I've ever had in my life. It's actually kind of questionable. It calls for apricot preserve or jam, whatever the heck. So I had to run to the store for this because it's not an ingredient I typically have on hand. And it's skewers. Well, I guess now I have to do skewers since I cut them like this. I could have just marinated the whole log and threw it on the grill like that, but you know what, it'll be fine. It is a little more time consuming to put skewers together, but I'll live with my life choices. I also have a dessert and a snack to throw together today. And then I want to kind of like meal prep, if you will, some juices. There's a story and a half about that. The weekend, I'll explain what happened over the weekend with us. We had a slightly busy week. I feel like it was busy, but it was a lot of, okay, so we went to a cheer competition and you're gone all day for 2.5 minutes of like action, if you will. I say that and I'll explain more, but to celebrate that, we went to Grain and Berry. She met up with a few friends there. And of course I got something because I hadn't eaten all day. So I got a juice and I liked it so much. And the amount they give you for the amount of money you pay for it, what the heck? There was so much ice in it and I just kept slurping. I was like, surely there's more in here. No. I thought, oh my gosh, my straw is stuck on some ice. No, incorrect. There was just ice left. So I'm gonna make one homemade and see if it compares. We've got a juicer and I was even talking to like, you know, the other moms there and I was like, you know, this is so great. I have a juicer at home and I never use it. So that inspired me and encouraged me. I'm gonna make it and maybe I will inspire you to pull your juicer out because we know we don't use it as much as we should, okay? The first thing I'm doing for the apricot pork recipe, which by the way, you could use any meat that you want with any marinade. That goes for like, I feel like any dish. You can use any meat that you want or have, but I'm just cutting it into like bite-sized pieces so I can throw it on a skewer. And not only do I have one log, I've got a second log over here. What are these even called? Loins? That sounds a little better. I'm gonna chop this up. One productive thing I did get done today, actually, you know what, I've done a few things. It's fine, but I did work out this morning and I won't be able to work out the rest of the week because it is May-cember, you guys. It's not quite May yet. Actually, today might be, but it's gonna be May. I need to put my Instinct shirt on. You just you know what? You just reminded me about that. But I say that because May kind of feels like the busyness of December with all of the award ceremonies and wrapping up the end of the school year, graduations, performances, literally all of the things. So for the rest of the week in the morning, we have something to do at their school. So, you know, it's kind of reminding me like, what the heck am I gonna do during summertime? Because normally during summertime, I just don't work out. But mentally, I need to, so I gotta figure something out. So the marinade's gonna start with 10 ounces. Where's my favorite spatula? You know, I haven't seen it in a while. Uh-oh. Man, that's my favorite. If that thing went missing, I actually might cry. You're about to see me tear up. Let's just hope it's in the dishwasher. I know it's not, but I'm just gonna pretend and move on. 10 ounces of apricot jam. I'm inclined to use the rest of the jar because what the heck else am I gonna do with it? But I'm pretty sure Rachel Ray has like a bottom of the jar recipe. I'll probably never make it. Here's to hoping, okay? I'm gonna throw this in the microwave just to loosen it up a little bit. Oh, there's donuts cats in here. I had one of these babies last night, 1 or 4, and 1000% allergic to those because, whoa. I just started itching and like sneezing. Oh, it was so bad. I was like, it's either those donuts or the juice I had earlier in the day, but y'all know what the real answer is. Okay, so to the apricot jam. Ah, it spit at me. Oh, I'm gonna throw in some Dijon. Why doesn't mustard ever come out in like a nice flow? It always just has a fart attack, you know? It's like, calm down. Figure out your diarrhea. A couple tablespoons of soy sauce. I use cocoa aminos. I'm gonna add about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Also gonna grate in a few cloves of garlic. I've got like 6 cloves down here. All right, this looks good. Almost forgot about the honey, couple tablespoons of that. Oh yes. And then I have some fresh rosemary here. I'm just gonna throw some sprigs in. Well, the scent of this is incredible. I mean, talk about Christmas in a bottle. I'm just gonna throw those in. And here's the kicker, some fresh zest. So I'm gonna grab in the zest of 2 oranges. You guys know I love when a recipe calls for fresh herbs and fresh citrus. It really elevates the dish. Raw meat never looks so good. She's beauty and she's grace. She's elegance and taste. And then finally, just some salt and pepper in here. Mix everything all together. Whoa, the flavor profile of this. Really interesting. I'm going to throw the meat in here and then coat it and let it sit for at least a couple of hours. If I was more prepared in my life, maybe overnight, but you know, you get what you get. And I love Trisha Yearwood. She's in love with the boy. Ow! I'm gonna tell you something. Every time I pull this juicer out, I feel like 2% better about myself. So the name of the juice that I had yesterday at Grain and Berry, there's no way this is right. What's happening? Where does this go? I don't know. Does this even go to this? This here. Whatever. I guess we'll figure it out. Fingers crossed. Nope. Doesn't work. Cool. It'd help if I knew how it worked. Rat, am I missing a piece? Where would this go? I feel like we're missing a piece. Can't read that. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, all right, let's try it again. I can do it. Yeah. All right, simmer down, we're not ready yet. You know, I thought I had everything for it. Well, I should have known better. It calls for mint. I know I have mint somewhere. Because this is not it. This is sad. This is sad mint. I found it. Okay, so this juice is called 50 Shades of Green. Have no idea why it's called that because there are exactly 3 shades of green in this juice. It is cucumber, mint, pineapple, lime, that's the 3rd shade, and that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more ingredient, but I forgot what. And an apple. It could be a green apple. But on the website, it shows a red apple, so that's what I'm gonna use. Even though it's a juicer and you could probably put the entire pineapple in there, I still take the core off because, I don't know, it's just so hard. And I have half of a pineapple I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use the entire apple, even the core. This is almost an entire cucumber. I think I put some in a kid's lunch this morning. But I am still going to cut it like just into a couple of different chunks. Couple of limes, and then the mint leaves, I'll just throw in a bundle or whatever. I also got these bottles off Amazon because I've been watching meal prep videos and really trying to get inspired, and I've been wanting to do juices for a while. But here's the thing, like I know I'm just gonna make it a couple times and then like never again. So those have been in my cart for probably 2 years. All right, let's get to juicing. I wanted to talk about the benefits of juicing, and I actually Googled it. And so essentially when you're juicing and breaking down, like just getting the juices, all those micronutrients, you're able to absorb those a lot better in your body. And essentially it's just boosting the immune system, aiding in digestion, reducing inflammation, promoting healthy skin, all the good stuff. And that's just pineapple juicing in general. And you can, you know, Google whatever you're juicing, and there you can look up the different benefits of, you know, each ingredient that you're juicing. But essentially, you're juicing all healthy things, right? Real fruits and vegetables, real foods, and they all have different benefits, but the main premise is like so good for you. And if you think about it, like, I'm not going to sit down and eat a whole apple and half a pineapple and a whole cucumber and whatever, 2 limes and mint. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit down and eat that on a plate. And technically, I only drank half of it, so I'm eating half of that. But still, a quarter of a pineapple, you get what I'm trying to say. So there's just a lot of benefits getting all those great nutrients into your body. I really want to juice some more. So if you've got some good recipes, I'm ready to hear them. So here is the 50 Shades of Green. It's exactly the same color as it was yesterday. And then here is our compost. It smells delightful, honestly. I'm gonna take a little sip of this, mix it up a little bit. You know how juices kind of have that earthy smell? That's what this one is. Ooh, very, very good. I like that a lot. That is delightful. And it's so simple to do. Why don't I do this more often? It's so good for you. Get those micronutrients. I need a funnel because this is gonna be a mess. I think, okay, Alex used to juice actually a lot. He went on a juicing cleanse probably like 10 years ago now at this point, actually probably more. Anyway, oh, this didn't make nearly, oh, I'm still dripping. Didn't make as much as I thought it would, but I'll still get a couple. That's okay, I'll have Alex try some. Anyway, he used to make all kinds of juices, and you know what I realized I don't like? Ginger, no thank you. It is so dang strong. I won't do it if a juice has ginger in it, but it has been several years, so maybe I'll give it another go. Yeah, this only made like 2, but that's okay. Alex and one of his friends were really into it. So I'm gonna bring this out to him. Cheers, this one's yours, this one is his, and I get none. But apparently next time I juice, I'll prepare quite a bit more, and you can keep this in the freezer. What, isn't that awesome? Preservative free, which is what I'm allergic to. I'm allergic to preservatives. It's a whole thing I found out years ago, and I'm like, it's fine. Anyway, it's a fantastic option. You're not really supposed to keep these in the fridge for a prolonged amount of time because that's the point of juicing. I don't know, then the nutrients kind of like dissolve. I don't know the science behind it. I just know those are the rules. Cheers. I'm gonna bring this out. I'm gonna take a little sip first. Oh, it's so good. I should put some ice in here. I feel like it could use a little bit of ice. You know what else too? He might think it's too sweet, but I almost got glass bottles, and then I remembered. I have 5 kids, and there's no way those are gonna last, so cheers to plastic. I know it's awful, but what can you do? All right, the kids got home, and I spent some time with them, ate some salt and vinegar chips with Eleanor, which probably wasn't the best decision, but life's all about balance, right? A little bit of green juice, a little bit of salt and vinegar chips, and a little bit of dessert, because that's what I'm making next. This recipe is how I knew buying Trisha Yearwood's cookbook was going to be a good idea. Because I have made this recipe before. It's been years, but the taste buds don't forget, okay? This is the most delicious recipe. It's got like 1 ingredient. It actually has 5, but it is so easy to whip together and such a crowd pleaser / him pleaser. It calls for 2 cups of pretzels, a 1 and a 2. And apparently I want to dirty up all of my kitchen utensils today. I'm gonna crush these up. You could crush them in a bag, or you can use a food processor like these. You can keep some bigger chunks in there if that's what you like, or just keep it going. I think I went a little bit too far with these because it is more of a powder than a crumb, but I'm gonna roll with it. I like it. You can use a lot of different things for the pretzel layer. Like instead of the pretzels, you can do vanilla wafers or graham cracker crust. I don't know, the world is your oyster. The next ingredient is butter, and I'm going to use a 1.5 stick of this. So to the pretzels, I'm going to add the melted butter, 1.5 sticks. That'll be fine, it'll mix it. Oh yes. And 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. Before I pulse that, because flour is gonna go everywhere, I'm going to add a cup of peanut butter. So I'm gonna plop this into a baking dish. I'm not gonna bake it, and there's no need to grease it. It'll come right out. There's a 1.5 stick of butter in there. And then just smear it out, make a nice even layer. You know what? Instead of pretzels, you can use Rice Krispies. I feel like I've done that in the past, and that is really delicious, but the pretzels will give it a nice salty crunch and flavor. And I had those in my pantry, so good to go. The next layer simple. Calls for a cup and a half chocolate chips, along with about a quarter cup of peanut butter. Looks good. And then I'm gonna melt this 30-second increments, mixing in between. I'm just gonna dump the chocolate over top and then spread it out and chill it in the fridge. And by the time we have dinner, the dessert will be ready too. And actually, I was going to make a snack before I threw this together, but it's whatever. Now this has plenty of time to chill in the fridge. Perfect. This next recipe is actually another treat. I thought it was gonna be like a healthy choice. It does have peanut butter in it, but it also has marshmallow fluff. So like, I don't know, balance, also a treat. Looks like it's a dessert. It's cool. I could always use a dessert in my life. And it does call for some crispy rice cereal. It is 4 ingredients. We're gonna have to do a battle of the desserts and see which one tastes better. This is actually from another cookbook that I got, again, from the thrift store, because look, this was, what, $13 at, looks like a Costco sticker from who knows how many years ago, because when's the last time you saw a $13 book anywhere? But I got it for like $2 or $3 at the thrift store, and it's Sandra Lee! And I should have known it's a dessert. Literally, this is a book all about desserts. And I was flipping through it, and I was like, these are all desserts. I didn't realize it was a book. I just saw Sandra Lee had to have it, the queen of semi-homemade. And I've never tried this recipe before. Again, with like the page tabs, this is what I'm using, a receipt. It works, but like they're flopping out. So I need a better alternative option. So I'm gonna start off by adding the crunchy peanut butter. It specifically calls for crunchy. And boy, do I have some in my pantry that I need to use, so perfect. 1 cup of crunchy peanut butter. I'm just gonna soften that up a little bit by mixing it. And then to this, I'm going to add a jar of jet puffed marshmallow cream. This is 7 ounces. And I think last time I bought this, it must've been buy one, get one free, because again, I had one in my pantry. It's so hard to open stuff without my teeth. All right, perfect. All of this is going in. Hey, have you ever had a Built Bar, like the puffs? I feel like this is what's inside of those. But the Built Bars have 17 grams or something like that, maybe more, of protein in each bar. And it is like eating a dessert. My friend gave me a few and I was like, what the heck? Next time I go to Costco, I'm definitely gonna have to buy some. All right, I'm gonna mix this in, which reminds me, I feel like I could add protein powder to this and it wouldn't really mess anything up. Actually, there's another recipe that I wanted to make today. I might make it tomorrow, but it's a copycat Aunt Franny's recipe. It's like a holiday recipe, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I didn't get to eat it this year and I've just been dreaming about it ever since. Okay, that's nice and smeared. To this, I'm going to add 1 cup of peanut butter chocolate chips. Just like a couple of handfuls there. And I have the ones that are milk chocolate and peanut butter. I think that'll be fine. I don't need to buy like, you know, use what you have. I'm just trying to work through it. This is definitely a nice little treat already. I feel like this alone would be really good, but just to bump it up, I'm gonna add 3 cups of this rice cereal and then wish me luck mixing all of this together. You know, as with all Sandra Lee recipes, looks kind of weird. I ended up going in here with my hands. It just makes things a little bit easier. But from here, I'm gonna take a little scoop here and roll them into balls, and then, ooh, am I gonna be able to roll them into balls? Squish them into balls, throw them in the fridge, and then pop them in my mouth one by one. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, well, first of all, I put these in the fridge when I was finished because I did feel like they needed to firm up a bit. And I feel like that was a good choice. But then I took them out of the fridge to let them come to room temperature, unless you want to like chip a tooth, because when they are hard, they're very firm. So I'm just gonna, you know, tell you that. So let them sit at room temperature. I don't know if you want to, maybe throw them in the fridge. It's your preference. But I will say I was pleasantly surprised at what a hit, how much of a hit these were. They were good. Don't get me wrong. They were delicious. They had peanut butter in them. You know, if it was just me making these on my own, adjusting the recipe, maybe add like, I don't know, 1/4 cup of flaxseed, maybe some chia seed in there, maybe some protein powder, I feel like would be a great addition. Just something to amp up the nutrient denseness of this with like the jet puff marshmallows, you know what I mean? But anyway, overall, it was great. It was a crowd pleaser. There were maybe 2 of these left over. I stored away.
And we had some people over. It wasn't just like my kids ravaging on these, but overall, these were a hit and a half. Thank you, Sandra Lee.
I don't know why I bought pistachios. What recipe is this for? It was on my grocery list. I didn't write the recipes I wanted to make, so it's gotta be one of the recipes from that pile of cookbooks over there. So wish me luck figuring that out. I am going to prep some dinner. So this will be dinner for tomorrow night. Tomorrow is a busy day for us. I have a little bit more time today to deal with some stuff. Our afternoons aren't quite as busy. Tomorrow we're gonna get home late and then, well, late-ish, and then we have stuff to do. Like, anyway, Eleanor has a chorus concert tomorrow night. That's really exciting, and that might hold us up a little bit. They say, you know, it ends at a certain time, but who the heck really knows? We always stay a lot later. And I just wanna make sure we have dinner waiting for us when we get home. Anything to avoid that drive-through. I know, my kids are gonna be like, and try to get me into saying okay to the drive-through, and I'm not okay with it. So this is a really simple meal, literally doesn't get any simpler than what I'm about to make. It's just peppers and sausage and onions. But the sausage that I use is this rolled sausage. I do the mild kind. What is happening? I'm freaking out. Grocery prices, I know we've been talking about this for years, but like these used to be 2 for $4. They are now 2 for $9, and this is the store brand. 2 for $9, still a cheaper option when you're talking about like meat, you know, and it's seasoned and it has a great flavor in there. And when I cook the sausage, it has like its own juices, so I don't need to add any other ingredients to it, except for sausage, peppers, which are in my sink, and onions. And my kids love it, and I don't know why I don't make it more often. It got on my radar because Alex mentioned something today, and I was like, ooh, that's great. I'll make that for tomorrow, and I'll prep it, and it'll take me like, you know, 5 minutes. Maybe 10 if I have to like cook the sausage and stuff. Maybe 15, really. And then 20 if you're talking about the rice. A 20-minute meal, pretty good. Then I got some green peppers. It also came with a red pepper, but it's a little soft, so I'm gonna get what I can out of that.
If you're making this just for like a normal amount of people, I would do like 1 log of sausage, 1 onion, maybe 2 bell peppers. I feel like that will suffice. But since I always cook for, well, a party, I do a little bit more. And for me, the more veggies, the better.
Everything's nice and chopped up. I'm throwing everything into a nice big pot. And I'm gonna cook everything together with just a little bit of oil. I'm gonna season it really simply, just with some salt and pepper. And then decor, I'm going to add this sausage. And this stuff is unbelievably good. And since I have so many veggies and so many people to feed, and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll have leftovers for the next day for lunch. I feel like that has rarely been happening, all my growing children. I'm actually going to add 3 pounds of the sausage and then just cook this all together and then serve it with rice. I don't think it gets any easier than that. While that's going on the stovetop, I'm gonna mix it, but also clean my kitchen up a little bit.
I don't think I was listening to any music this day. Was it this day I threw on Heart Attack, or was it the next day? I can't remember. I think it's in the next video that you're going to see. So something to look forward to. But I don't even know if I was listening to anything. Sometimes I just need to like let my mind decompress. And tell me if you have these moments in your life where sometimes when I'm driving to point A to point B and I don't have anyone in my car with me, like no kids, and I'm like, this is weird. So I also won't put anything on the radio. And it just sometimes reminds me of like that feeling I get middle of the day after school and my mom's bringing me to Walmart. Like, first of all, Walmart, no thank you, not anymore. But you get what I'm trying to say, like that just calm. And so I think I was trying to recreate that calmness and like, oh, I've got so much to do. I don't need extra noise pollution is what I call it. When the kids are just making random noises that don't correlate to anything else that's going on. I'm like, this is noise pollution. Can you take that elsewhere? You know? Or I'll just remind them, hey, noise pollution, like there's a lot going on. Please be mindful. Anyway, so I just needed some peace and calm, and I just needed my kitchen to be clean. And, you know, sometimes you just gotta forego. If you saw me cleaning out that cooler, that was the cooler from the weekend. So I guess you can look at this as a little bit of a weekly reset because I was gone the majority of the day Saturday. I was surprised at really just how much of the day that the competition took up. And if you're into, well, you/your child, if you have a child that's into competitive sports, and listen, like the cheer competition, that was like, she's not like, it's not that intense is what I'm trying to say. I know there are many other sports that are much more involved. I'm talking like baseball is what's coming to mind. We've got friends who are into, gosh, what's it called? When you like travel, the travel sports. And I know if you are a travel sport parent, you totally understand how much of it, one, time commitment it is, and monetary commitment, honestly, because those sports are always expensive. And then you sit there and I have a friend who had a daughter in like deep into the competitive dance world, and she took a year off. She had been doing it for so many years, and the child decided, hey, I want to take a year off. And, you know, it's coming to the end of that year. She said, I want to do it again next year. And the parent was like, great. And I love that because they took a year to, you know, decompress and reassess. And then, you know what they decided? They actually love it. And then they're ready to go. And it just gains a little bit more perspective for you. Like, you know what? It is a lot, and it's busy, and it's a big, it really takes up so much of your life, but it taking a break kind of gives you a different perspective on, you know what? We really do enjoy it. And it is something that we want to continue. You know what I mean? So it's nice to just take a break sometimes. So for me, that was like just not having any noise. I just needed to not be overstimulated by noise right now. Anyway, I don't know how I got on those rants, but there it is. We spent half the day is what I guess I'm trying to say is it took more time than I was expecting. And you know what I mean? Like what, especially when it's something like dance or cheer and they only have a certain amount of time on stage or whatever it is, even if it's a sport. Do you have to stand around and watch everyone else play and then wait for your turn? I guess it is, you know, if you're out of town and out of state, oh my gosh, if you're at that level. Oh man, the things we do for our children, you know. I don't know. I didn't play any sports as a child. I did get into cheerleading in high school. But that's pretty much it. I think I tried out for basketball, scarred me for life in middle school. And I was like, yeah. And no, absolutely. It was a no. It was a no for the coach. Okay. If you saw me in middle school, I think you'd totally understand. Like basketball was not my sport. Anyway, we like to encourage our kids to be good at different things and try different things and find out what they enjoy. So we're just in the process of doing that. And a lot of them have figured, you know, honed it in just a couple of things. And, you know, we've got a couple more up and coming. So it's never ending, but it's always a heck of a lot of fun. Hey, I'm throwing the meat onto skewers. I'm going to tell you something about this marinade. It was not my favorite. It was very, very full of flavor. And I think maybe because it was pork, I'm just used to juicy chicken thighs is all I'm trying to say. So this was a little dry when we cooked it. But it was okay. Hey, fancy meeting you here. What are you doing in here? Not really sure what I'm doing in here. Clearly I've got some laundry to tend to. I did a horrible job of doing my weekly reset because this morning Meredith had no clothes to wear. I feel like all of her dresses are stained, so I'm working on that. They're setting the dinner table right now if you can hear the riffraff. I also need to wash Eleanor's cheer uniform. They sent an email last night like, hey, make sure they bring it tomorrow, which is today, and I didn't have it ready, so I wrote them and I was like, hey, if only I were on top of things. It's not my fault. When I got home last night, we had some people over and a nice little barbecue, nice and simple. So it was nice, but I didn't have anything prepared for today. And then once it was like, give the kids a bath and do all of the bedtime routine, and then it's my time to pass out, you know? And I feel like I've just been sleeping like garbage. Well, hold on. First of all, didn't do what I needed to do to prepare for the day ahead, which meant I had no ice packs for their lunch boxes this morning. You normally have a spare set of ice packs, but I used those for the coolers that we used on Saturday and didn't unload those until just now in the kitchen. So I just have to be better about staying on top of stuff like that. I'm really bad about their ice packs and their water bottles.
until the morning of. I'm like, where are your water bottles? But don't you know, like, these are the moments that we live for. No! Anyway, I don't know, you guys. I've been sleeping like garbage too on top of it all. And I feel like that doesn't help. I keep waking up like 4 a.m. That's like too early. And it's not like I wake up and do anything productive. So I don't know, like too much is going on. And this morning I actually woke up because I had a nightmare. It's like, am I 5 years old having nightmares? What the heck? And then of course I couldn't go back to bed because I was trying to convince myself and like rewrite the story of my nightmare. Like, no, this is what I would actually do. Let's go through some alternative plans here so that that doesn't actually happen in real life. I went through like 4 different scenarios just in my head, and I couldn't fall back asleep. So anyway, I'm blaming it on the donuts that I had the night before. What else could it be? It could be the juice that I drank. We'll see if I have another nightmare tonight. But I'm just gonna fold this stuff really quick. It looks to be mostly towels, so that's really nice. There's some stuff in here, which it also looks like a lot of towels, and then I'll throw another load in that will include her cheer uniform. Fingers crossed to get that done by the end of the day so that she can actually bring it tomorrow, and I can bring it tomorrow because I will be at their school. Performance in the morning, performance at night, and they have a special assembly, so I'll just stick around for that. Why not? And actually, we have a couple of after-school activities today that we need to tend to. We're gonna eat dinner first because it's a later one, and then come home.
I don't know if I told you, but they got 3rd place at her cheer competition. So exciting for them. I'm actually putting together trophies for the team right now because Eleanor mentioned like, hey, you know, are we gonna get a trophy? And I was like, I don't think so. Maybe I can just buy you one, you know? So I looked on the website and their squad is so small. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go in for the squad for the end of the year party. I'll just bring them, and I don't know if the kids are gonna want them or like them, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I only recently got rid of some of my cheer trophies from when I was in. I got like, you know, different awards at the end of the year, like most spirited, that kind of thing. And then whatever trophies we got for placing competitions and whatnot. So just being around that atmosphere brought a lot of memories back. So it was really nice. And I, you know, texted some old friends like, hey, being here reminds me, and, you know, stuff like that. So it's good. Speaking of that, oh my gosh, our 20-year high school reunion is coming up. Gross. Did you go to yours? Seriously, tell me. First of all, what sports did you play? Second of all, did you go to your 20th year high school reunion? 10/20/30, 40, 50. I don't know how old you are. Let me know if you enjoyed it, if it was worth it, if you would go again, if you regretted going, because honestly, I'm like, I don't have much interest. You know what I mean? I connect with the people I still want to keep in touch with. Social media, 2025.
I'm finally gonna tackle this. Today is the day. I gotta get the mess away. And by that, I mean I have some Amazon returns shoved in there. I have a comforter that needs to be returned to Home Goods. It's probably past its due date or prime or whatever you wanna call it. But I'm gonna see what we can do there. And then I have a bunch of stuff for Wentworth's room. So that whole pile, and then all of these boxes over here. So I'm redoing his room. I ordered some stuff, but I'm waiting until the closets get done. And I don't know when that is because they haven't given me a date yet. And I thought for sure by now I'd at least have a date. I'm hoping they write me and they're like, got your stuff in, be there next week. So I don't know. I sent them the check weeks ago, maybe a month at this point, maybe longer, who the heck knows. All I know is that I need to tackle this. That's an empty box that I need to make sure I bring to the kids' school tomorrow because they're doing some kind of project that requires a box big enough for the child to sit in. So great, let's do it. You and me, thank you for this.
Oh, I forgot I showed you my dumping ground today. It was definitely something that I needed to tackle. And things like this for me can get out of hand, okay? We want to call them doom boxes. I've got several of those hanging around right here. I'll go, I'm like, clean the rest of the house, but no one enter my hoarding spot. This is where I hoard, okay? I've got, well, to be fair, I told you some of this stuff was for Wentworth's bedroom, and I finally got a date. We emailed them, well, not a concrete date, but they gave us the general month of June. Bets on whether or not it's going to be the 1st or the 31st. Do you feel me? Actually, are there 30 days past September, April, June? No, only 30. Oh, so 1st or 30th. I'm guessing it's going to be July. That's just my guess over here. But at least I know like summertime. So that's when it'll wrap up. But until then, I will have these. And you know what? So I got some stuff from Pottery Barn. You guys, like I went all out. I was like, you know what? It's going to be awesome. I'm going to do this for Wentworth, finally get his room done. And so I got some, what I thought were going to be nicer pieces from Pottery Barn. You guys, I bought that bean bag. First of all, they sent me 2. Thank you so much. I went back and I only paid for one. I only ordered one, so I don't really know what to do with it. I guess I can return it if I was being an honest person, but I don't want to pay for shipping on some, you know what I mean? Like that's not my fault. But anyway, I ordered these bean bags thinking, oh, they're going to be so much better quality than ordering them on Amazon, which is probably more than half of the price, like less than half of the price. And then they came in. I was like, this is nothing special. There's nothing great about it. So moral of the story is I should have just ordered it off Amazon. And you know what? Maybe I should order one off Amazon just to see if there is a quality difference. That's an idea. But now that I have 2, I'm like, oh, I should order a beanbag cover. And maybe I'll get that off Amazon. And then I'll really be able to notice the quality difference of the cover that I got from Pottery Barn versus Amazon. So dupes coming up. I guess you know what I've heard? You're not really supposed to say that word, but dupes and dupes. So there you go. Sue me. Anyway, I'm cleaning up my junkyard over here. And oh my gosh, wait, I was showing you the backpack and then my camera died. So here it is again. I got this. Oh, what does it say on it? Learning. It's like a really great brand, Learning Resources or something. Got this backpack from Meredith. I know she's just going to love it. I forgot what the brand was. I'm pretty sure it's something like Learning Resources or Learning Lakeshore Learning, something like that. Fantastic. And it's a backpack where she can keep all of her toys, but then you can fold it out and it's like a place to play on, which is fantastic because each weekend we go and like she doesn't play soccer, but we go to support our siblings and you know she's got this whole like Barbie set up and I'm like this is becoming a lot. So anyway, I think this is like a great way to consolidate it and I found it at the thrift store for like single dollars, $3 I want to say. I think it was like 15 but it was 75% off. So amazing deal. You know what, I'm gonna look up the original price on that. Okay, so apparently they don't sell it anymore, but it's supposed to come with like horses, a whole setup, which I thought was really cool. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something with you, but then I forgot and I started talking about something else and I lost my train of thought. And do you ever try to go back and think, okay, well, that's what I was thinking about and what was I thinking about before that? But then there's so many thoughts that you can't figure out which memory path to take to figure out what I wanted to say before. So anyway, I lost it. Sorry about that. But as you can see, as I'm pulling the layers up, there's like layers underneath the mess. And I didn't get to sweep, but rest assured, I did clean my floors. I just didn't film it. I don't think I did it this day. I think I did it the next morning, which, you know, sometimes I get to it, sometimes I don't. And that's okay because it always eventually gets done. And that's all I can say about that. But I had a bunch of Easter stuff in here. I'm trying to find a place where I could store these bean bags, but they're just too big. So I ended up just making a pile right here. I tried to shove them behind the chair. It just wasn't going to work out. They don't flatten very well, which is good because that's what you want out of a bean bag. But also I need to store it where it's not going to clutter up my space, but looks like that's not going to happen anytime soon. Anyway, Easter stuff, I'm putting that in a box to put in the garage with the Easter things. Oh my gosh, and I put all the candy, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to put this somewhere. No, I left it there, and then guess who got into it? The raccoons. Yes, my children. They came in here when the lights were off, and they were like, oh, what's in this bag? Oh, candy. And they ripped the bag apart like a bunch of raccoons, and what can I expect? I should have put it up higher. It's my fault. And, oh, that's what I was going to talk to you guys about, you guys. Okay, you know how Meredith, she loves, like, getting gifts, and it can be something small. It's just like, hey, I thought of you, you know, if you have a love language that is gift giving or gift receiving. I'm not sure how it's worded. I think it's gift giving, but really it's like mostly the receiving end. Anyway, that's her love language. She goes to school with this little boy. They've been friends for 2 years now, and they're so sweet together. Well, she's got a good group of friends. But anyway, this one specific friend, I was leaving today and, we were just lingering around and he came up to her, gave her a hug and handed her a toy, just like a squishy little toy. And then she had it because I didn't like see the exchange. And I was like, where did you get this from? And she told me, and I was like, oh, is that why you like him? Because he gives you toys. I just thought, oh, that's such a nice gesture. That's so sweet of him to like, give you something. So anyway, it makes a difference when you have someone in your life who speaks your love language, I suppose. I wonder what his is. I should have asked her, hey, what's his love language? Because you have to reciprocate, Anyway, what's your love language? I'm not really sure what mine is. I do know what Alex's is. Do my best to achieve. Anyway, cleaning out my closet. I've moved in here. You know why? Because it was the worst I've ever seen it look in a really long time. So I knew I needed to tackle it. And it's been on my list for several days. And I knew I needed to, just go in there and spend 5-10 minutes max dealing with it. I had a lot of clean laundry I needed to put away, and that's my problem. Like sometimes I'll have a bundle of clean laundry and I just live out of the basket. And I'm trying my best this year, and I guess I made it pretty far. Okay, solid 5 months, 6 months maybe. I'm not really sure when I decluttered it, but I've been trying my best to stay on top of it. The catalyst for this was that I had some Easter stuff like Play-Doh I needed to put away. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this pile up. I'm going to take a little bit of time and deal with it, and that's what I did. And then my clean clothes, if I'm getting dressed and I'm like, oh, I don't want to wear this, I'll take it off and I'll just plop it into a pile, So I'm doing my best. And you know what I got from Costco the other day? Those pink shorts, love them. I don't think I shared it in the video of me trying them on. I almost did, but then the video was so long. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. So I didn't. I made the executive decision not to. But if you are at Costco, they have so many clothing items and the shorts really got me. I was like, these are so lightweight. It feels like I'm wearing nothing, but they look super cute. They're high-waisted. They have the elastic waistband. I'm like, absolutely, this is what I live for. So I'm tidying up my kitchen after dinner. Again, I swear I tidy my kitchen more times than any other space in it's the heart of the home, right? So anyway, my kids are playing on the counter. I'm not really sure what they're doing. Oh, no, you know what toy they had? It's a Melissa and Doug. I've had it since Avelina was a baby. It's supposed to be like a matching game. Is it for travel? I don't know. But my kids play with it. They love it. You like spin a thing at the bottom of it and then you have to like flip some pieces over to find a match. They love playing. On this specific day, they were, taking turns is a learned skill, I think. This rug drives me insane. And I recently got some new rug grippers. No, they didn't work. Literally, didn't even for 1 second. I was like, this is the biggest piece of crap. So that's the bane of my existence. That rug in my kitchen. The corners are forever flipped. And it's so dumb. I spend so much money on the rug things, put them down, and they last for maybe a couple of days until they come up again. Ugh. How do you guys fix it? How? I don't think it can be fixed. And I'm like, I don't want to buy new carpet just because the corner is flipped up, but I'm spending just as much money going through all of the rug grippers. Anyway, hey, the juicer, did you know I knew the piece came out when I was trying to clean it? I was like, I know this stinking comes out. And I finally got it out. I was like, yes. Because I had to, you got to clean all the nooks and crannies of that. You don't want food residue to be in there. And then next thing you know, you got worms. Gross. So I was happy to report that I was able to clean it thoroughly. And I'm hoping to start juicing a little bit more. Maybe if it was easier for me to access. It's like in the back of my appliance cabinet. But really, it's not that hard to just drag out, I was trying to look on Pinterest for a few recipes to try because I know I don't like ginger. It's just so spicy. Literally, the smallest little bit of it will make the entire juice taste like that spice. It's not for me. I can't handle it. It's way too strong. Even the smallest, teeniest, tiniest little thing, I'm like, ugh. So I'm learning the flavors that I enjoy. I definitely lean more toward the sweet side, more fruits than veggies. But if you add kale and stuff, great nutrients, hardly any flavor. So I'm gonna go to the grocery store and stock up on I say that. Like, when am I going to do this? I don't know. Sometime soon, I hope. I'll stock up on like spinach and kale. I think I have a recipe that calls for kale. Oh, a salad recipe I want to try. I was trying to put it together yesterday, but I didn't have time to run to the grocery store to get all the ingredients to make it. So I'm hoping that I can do that soon because this salad recipe, ooh, it's going to blow your mind. Do you want to make it together? Should we do like a meal prep together? Oh, yeah, I think we should. I don't know. I mean, you can't really meal prep kale. I mean, but this one is, the recipe is called like marinated kale salad. So if you're going to meal prep any salad, it better be kale because that's a nice hearty, it doesn't break down as easily. But the salad I make in tomorrow's video or Saturday's video for you, like the next video, is so good. It's a bag salad and oh my gosh, I could cry. It's like spinach, not spinach. I don't know why I said that. Maybe it is. I don't know, but it's good. Something to look forward to. It's got apples in there. Yes, yes, yes. We'll make it together next time. Bye.